Hey everybody, today we're doing a quick audit on Dentimax in their website here. So this is a tool that we use to help pull out certain technical issues. So we're going to start running that. This could take a minute for all of that to load. So as we do that, I'm going to walk you through the rest of the site. So first thing first, decent authority score, not bad. It looks like kind of up and down keywords and traffic overall. This is the area that we're at now. Overall, obviously we're out when the site started. There's some significant keyword increases after a while, and then kind of ups and downs since then. So we're going to focus in on this area over here. Look within the last year, the last 6 months. So pretty even. It looks like right now there's a little bit of a downward shift in keywords. Traffic seems to be going up slightly. It looks like they are running paid, so that could be helping with the traffic, but overall organic keywords are starting to decrease and probably should figure out why that's happening. That other audit is still running, so we'll run through a few more things first. Let's look at overall user experience on the website. First look right now, going through everything seems fine. When I originally loaded the site, it loaded pretty fast. We can test it again. Yeah, loads super quick. That's really great. Definitely on desktop. Mobile could be another beast altogether, but right now, quick loading site. Look at the first overall image. We will see how big it is. Home image is 94 kilobytes. That's following best practices of having everything under 100 kilobytes, and this helps with a lot of site speed. All right, next, the contact us page. So we kind of saw how slow that was to load. That could be a potential issue. If this is a contact form that's leading to a certain CRM, that could be causing the issue. If it's not and it's local to this website, this is something that probably should be addressed, because a lot of times, again, if things take too long to load, your users aren't going to stick around. I think the biggest thing for me is I'm not 100% sure where I'm supposed to go on the site. So I see this sensor, and I can see the sensor here. That was a weird load. We all saw that. If you didn't back up a little bit in this video, and you can see what just happened there. We can try it for free. We saw that weird load again. A lot of content shifts. Try before you buy, so we can add in our information here, which is different than the contact page. But we see practice management software, and we just kind of see different solutions for that. This is pretty self-explanatory. And dental imaging software, a little bit of a content shift there as we're moving through the site. Yeah, I think for me, setup and training and video library, I see kind of what's happening here is we're trying to keep practice management software all under one section and dental imaging software all under one section, where I would probably take some of these and keep these very product focused, so not to draw the user away from where you want them to go, and then have things like FAQs and pricing and everything, and like the setup and training all in kind of a different area. Because basically as soon as someone clicks on this, you want them to see the solution if they're looking around, instead of kind of all these other areas, especially for the dental imaging software. We see the overview, which is great. Immediately led to a contact page. Presenting this information and putting it out there a little more without kind of getting jumbled in with all these other actions that you want a user to make could be beneficial. But then we have setup and training, which is fine, but at the end of the day, which one's more important for them to click on, and having them kind of weighted the same could be a potential issue for conversions. All right, our main audit, technical audit, has finished. see a few high priority issues. Multiple body tags on this particular page, that's definitely an issue. This is just like an issue with how the site's coded. Simple fix though. Multiple meta descriptions. This is a weird one. This is not something that you see often, to have two different meta descriptions associated with the page. I guess with this, I've seen this only one other time, and it was on a more of a custom website where there was a mobile version and a desktop version, and basically you would have a mobile meta description and a desktop meta description, or this could even happen with different things like multiple H1s and things like that. Basically what's happening there is both meta descriptions are being populated within Google, and you're basically asking Google to choose. Google's not seeing the difference between a mobile designated version and a desktop designated version. It's seeing both altogether. Having multiple H1 tags, since we're here, is definitely not ideal. Header tags, H1, H2, etc. Those are all how Google's reading the site and telling how the content, what's the most important content from least important content. So having these labeled correctly is just going to help Google decide what your site's about. Images over 100 kilobytes. See a few of these images, slow loading or weird content shifts. That could, fixing these images could help. Having all these images under 100 kilobytes would definitely make a difference there. Let me check, since we did see those multiple tags, let's check what the site is built on. This could give us a little more insight. Looks like WordPress, which WordPress has a lot of custom code that you can add into the site, and that might be where some of those, those multiple tags are being populated. So again, if you're using some sort of SEO software, it just might need to be looked at to be configured differently. If this stuff is hard-coded into the site, not using a plugin, that would explain a little bit why we're seeing multiple pop up. So we definitely want to look into that a little more. Overall, site's not bad, but there are some glaring issues that we'll want to address as soon as possible to make sure that we stop the general keyword slide that we're starting to see here. Make sure that doesn't go any further. And that's it for the audit.